That's a cool camera. I mean,
Yeah,
so now that it's red, what's it?
It's recording, but it's catching up to us.
Gotcha.
And now it's caught up. All right, Crosse Archery fans, video number 3 of the day. We're here with Eric Springer of Stanislawski.
Very nice.
All right.
You got it.
Also known as Stan. Release aids, from thumb triggers to hinges to back tension. Stan's got everything covered.
Yep.
Right? Can you tell us a little bit about you, about the company?
Sure.
Yeah.
My name's Eric Springer. My brother Doug is my business partner. We own Copper John Corporation, Stanislawski Archery. We founded Copper John in October 6th of 1999, and we're making hunting sights around Pingar. That was our little claim to fame. And then in 2002, we acquired Stanislawski Release Aids.
Okay.
But Stanislawski was formed in 1970 by Mel Stanislawski, who invented and popularized the hinge release.
Yep.
We hear most people call them back tension releases, but that's really was his creation, and we've expanded on it into thumb buttons, resistance or pull-throughs, and of course we have our hinge line as well.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes, whether it be a hinge or a tension, or a thumb button? We've got a lot of hunters in the shop, so a lot of guys are used to a wrist strap.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But we're coming up with league season starting on Monday at our shop, so we're going to see a lot of guys shooting without a wrist strap.
They want to try something different.
Yep.
Sure.
Can you tell us kind of what that is, or?
Sure. Well, I mean, basically, they all have the common aspect that they are handhelds.
Yep.
And a handheld release aid, it's not that they're more accurate. They facilitate a form that allows your body to be more stable throughout the shot sequence. So sometimes people will say, well, you got to use a different form, and it's not that you have to use a different form. You're now able to use a different form, which is is what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, accuracy is the name of the game. So if you're holding a wrist strap, you've got to, by necessity, you've got to be out here. You know, and most people have to lean a little bit, get their head, and so your posture's off. Whereas a handheld, you're able to be upright, vertical, and your head's up, the string's under your face, and your posture's normal and your body's stable. That's why you'd want to use a handheld. Now, which particular handheld? There's a choice.
There's 30 of them in front of us here. And
you got to look at it, and you've got to be realistic with yourself about what type of commitment you want to make to becoming as accurate as you can.
Okay.
And if you're going to be like a lot of people, just go to league, don't get a hinge. I mean, they require the most dedication, if you will, or the most practice to becoming skilled with them. And the reason they're so accurate isn't that the mechanism is more accurate, it's that you as an archer must be as consistent as possible to be successful with them. So they're making you be more consistent. But the more common ones are the thumb button and the resistance.
Okay.
And they're easy for anyone to learn. They'll teach you how to execute what's called a back tension style shot, where you're using your back muscles to hold everything in balance, and then you just squeeze them a little more and they set off. They set off the release aid. A thumb button, this is a typical thumb button. You would cock it like so, put it on your bowstring, and then when you fire it, it's just a little pressure on that thumb barrel, sets it off. You don't actually fire it like this, but we can talk about that later. That's how they work. And then there's a resistance. Resistance is different. This is not a trigger, this is a safety. So you would put pressure on this and hold that down, put it on your bow, draw your bow to your holding weight, let off the button, pull a little harder, and it'll fire. But this is probably the easiest one to begin making a back tension style shot with, and then thumb button gives you a little more flexibility, and if you want to help it along.
Yeah. So is a thumb button something that you've seen people hunt with?
Oh, sure. Yeah, and we actually we have enough people hunting with them that we offer this in a blackout version. I mean, the whole thing is black. Okay. So it doesn't shine in the woods. I mean, not that the deer care what color release aid you're using, but it doesn't shine. It fits with what you want. That environment you're in. But they use them. An awful lot of people use them. I use one. I use a thumb button to hunt with, and it's different than what we think. We're not just smacking a trigger, but with practice it becomes just. You can
second nature.
Boom, whenever you want to.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about it going through your sleeves.
That's right. Just have to worry about it falling out of your pocket.
That's the problem. So as far as the offerings that Stan has, if somebody was brand new to it, we kind of went over that a little bit, but if somebody was walking into the shop you know, Monday I'll be back at work. We had this table in front of us. I could be so lucky to have this table in the shop. But,
Right.
Where am I directing them, and why, or how can we?
Well, most of your customers will want to start with a thumb button.
Okay.
It's easiest to draw back, requires the least amount of practice. You just get on it, and if they want to, they can feel the trigger and it'll fire.
Yep.
That's a good introduction. But if you really want to give them the best advice, have a conversation with them. Find out what do they want to be. If they want to be as accurate as possible, and they want to shoot 3 times a week or so, you know, you'd guide them to something different than if they're going to come in once a week for league and they want to be able to shoot a little better than they have been. So that's kind of a discussion and that you have knowing your customer. If they want to become as accurate as possible and they're willing to invest the time, you just can't beat a hinge style release to becoming accurate. It's the most frustrating to learn, but it's the most accurate. All our releases come with this little feature here. It's a very simple device. It's called a trainer lock.
Okay.
And what you do is you block the firing mechanism. So in the case of a hinge, you would close the hook, put that in behind the hook like so, spin that in. Now the release aid can't fire, and then just click. You hear that?
Yep.
It's all it does.
Yep.
So you would draw your bow back while you're learning to execute the shot, and it
You
just
hear
goes
the click
click.
and then let down and start over.
Drawing a hinge release back, that's the challenge people have to overcome. If you do it improperly and hit yourself in the chin, that's not a step back, that's several steps back. So you can erase a lot of progress. So you put this pin in and then you would draw. If you made a mistake or held it wrong or got some inconsistency in the way you did it, you'd hear just a click instead of popping yourself in the chin.
I've tied some D-loops on the Matthews Genesis bows myself and just tried it, and I punched myself in the face with the Genesis, so it didn't hurt too much,
But it still hurts, and if you get your chin, it hurts. If you get your lip, and it really hurts. So
then you can say you put your blood, sweat, and tears into the.
Yeah, a little scar like this it's a badge of honor. But so I'd have a conversation, but I think most of your customers are going to want to be crossovers. They want to shoot better during the league, and they want to take that out to the woods. So they're not going to have that. Well, I have to wait till it's 20 yards. They're going to be able to say, it's 37 yards. I'm going to take that shot. You provided the situation's appropriate. But it'll help you extend their range in the woods, make them enjoy league a little better because they get a little more skill, and they really don't need to spend as much time as if you were going to become a tournament level archer.
I know I'll never be the tournament level archer, but these guys might help me be a lot better. These are new for this year, right?
Right. These are, the thumb button concept has been around for years, but what we have this year we've been added to our Perfex release aid line. The Perfex is a shooting platform where the finger beds and the hook, the relationship between them are the same. So if you pick up a thumb button or a resistance, they're exactly the same. You would shoot them the same, they will impact the same, you can cross-train back and forth. So with the thumb button, you've got that, you can always fire it with your thumb if you want to. That's both a positive and a negative. You always want to set it off with your back, which is something you will teach the archers in your place how to do. And so you have the ability to cheat it, you have a tendency to want to. So that leads to target panic. So the two of them working in concert is something that you might want to consider having your customer do. This one here, the only way it can fire is by pulling. You have to increase the pull, which is how you're trying to make the shot go off. So you can go back and forth practicing. This will reinforce the technique you want to take to the woods.
So I've seen a lot of times a guy will pick up, a thumb button. That's a 3-finger thumb button. And then they might buy it, but then they're like, you know what, I want that pinky. So then they might have to get a different release. That's something that's different with
the Perfex. The Perfex comes with everything. And you've got this finger piece. And it comes with 2 of them. This is for a 4-finger release. Comes with another one that makes it a 3-finger release. You see how this is swept down? You can also have it up.
Oh, perfect.
So in the case of say the SX3, that's more of a flat release, and the shoot off is more of a swept release. With this release, you can tailor it to be flat like an SX3 or swept like a shoot off, or anywhere in between. You fit it for you.
And does that all come in the same box?
Comes in the same box, and you also get 5 different length thumb barrel extensions and 2 thumb barrel sizes.
Fantastic.
So it's highly customizable to each individual's hand.
That's kind of avoiding the, oh shoot, I bought the 3-finger.
Yep.
But I want a 4-finger.
I'll just
Maybe
take out the screw and put it over. That's right.
You're not going to sell a guy a 3-finger and a 4-finger every year.
That's right.
But that's a great idea. I love that. So I don't know if, I mean, a lot of our guys that are watching the video, much better form than I'll have in years, but some of the newer people to this style of release. I don't know, with the firing line, I don't know if you want to show us, as you were talking about anchor point.
Sure.
But if you want to kind of talk about that a little bit, where it might change from a wrist, you showed it, but with the string it might be a little bit easier for a customer to see. So you're talking about how with your wrist strap you're up higher. Or,
I'll do it looking at you so you can see it from one perspective, and I'll do it from the side so you can see it another perspective.
Perfect.
The basic goal you're trying to get is put your body in as stable a position as possible. And then you have to understand that your body is a series of levers connected to hinges. So the only way to really make it stable is you can't force it stable. You have to balance it stable. And envision how you would lean against the wall. When you lean against the wall, I'm not locking my arm, put my shoulder up and trying to force it in place. I'm just there. That your body instantly goes into that stable position. That's what you want. That's your bow hand. It's also your release hand, but in the case of your release hand, you've got to have it where you can hold the release aid, hold the bow back, and you've got to bring it up to an anchor point. That's your form. You've got this angle here that you want as close as possible. You want your hand no higher than it needs to be, but no lower than it has to be. Okay? So you're about like this, and you'll notice from the side, everything's in a straight line. From my hand, through this hand, out to my elbow is a straight line. The 3 points would be a straight line. From the front, I'm looking at you from the front, so from the side. But from the front, I'm 2 things. My head's up, through my hand here, straight through my eye where the bowstring would be. I'm stable. I mean, I'm upright. My posture's normal. And this is your form. And your form will vary a little bit from mine because your body's a little different. So if someone were to say, well, you want to be up, you want to be low, you don't. Your
I've
body
got a lower
tells
center
you.
of gravity,
Yeah,
so
you need a little ballast to hold you in place. But your body tells you what you want to do. And in terms of hand position, one of the questions we get is, do you want to be vertical? Do you want to be horizontal? The answer is neither. You want to be where you want to be. So if your hand just sits there like this, you'll see it's slightly inclined. That's it. You don't want to force it up. You don't want to force it out horizontal. If I force it up, I have to move it out. So normally I have to lean in a little bit. That throws off your posture. If you're up like this, you're in and low like this, your posture's normal. Everything's where it should be. You're in a linear, stable position. And the bowstring, instead of sitting out here, is now coming to the front of your face, so everything lines up.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple times with people using a thumb trigger, so where it actually catches on there.
You got to cock that.
Yep, I got it down there. Instead of coming back sideways, they're coming up like this, twisting that D-loop.
Right.
That's going to have an effect on something, or is that so minor that...
It's minor. I mean, the D-loop, the function of the D-loop is to provide some bridge in between the torque. But if you do it consistently, it's tuned out, if you will. But when you're like this, I mean, you might twist.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do anything.
My whiskers do that anyway.
Your whiskers would twist it more.
Do you have any questions going on, Miranda? Anything else that we need to know about Stan, Eric?
I don't think so. I think we covered it. And you can always get information about our products at ishootastand.com, and personal questions. We pride ourselves on making sure we take care of our customers who aren't just the dealers, they're the people that use our products. And if they have any questions at all, they can always call our factory and talk to a human being.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Guys, we're really excited to bring you more from Stan this year. Expand that idea of having new ways to make you more accurate, to make those arrows fly straighter and hit where you want them to. One more video left for the weekend. We're almost on our way out of Indy. Hopefully the snow, we haven't been outside yet today. So hopefully the snow stopped. I'm not sure. It's a big building in here, so we can't see windows. But appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll see you soon. Thanks again, Eric.
Hey, thank you.